to another episode of The Unspoken Truth. I am your girl, Jay, with J Black and Co., and this is Mrs. Keena B. Hi, Keena. Okay.
Hey, hon, am I still clear?
Um, no, you're frozen. Wait a minute. Nope, nope, you're not frozen, but there's a lag. Okay.
I'm not clear anymore.
Nope, you're clear now. It's just that there's a lag now. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, poor thing.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Uh,
so glad over these tech. I get over these tech things.
I know we're gonna figure it out. We're figuring it out.
So, Jay, I'm a video again.
Okay.
You hear me? I said I'm going off of the video just because that seemed to work last time.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it as long as
Okay.
we could go ahead and roll. Uh,
Yes.
okay. Like I said, welcome everyone to another episode of The Unspoken Truth. I'm your girl Jay with J Black and Co. And this is your co-host, Mrs. Keena B. Keena, are you
Hey,
doing well today outside of tech issues?
outside of that, yes, I'm good. And that's actually a small thing when you think about the bigger picture.
Hey, you're right. As long as we get to hear the voice though. As long as we get to hear the voice, the knowledge, as long as we get that we're good, right? Um so if you're new to the Unspoken Truth, what it is, it's your weekly podcast where Keena and I take an inside look at building, developing, and scaling a sustainable coaching business. We have been in this game for a combined 30 plus years. And Keena and I really provide real solutions, strategy, support, and resources that's going to help you build your business the right way and build the business that you want. And we're going to always come to you unfiltered, and we're always going to come with the truth. So in this episode, we're talking about a good one. Actually, it was sprung from a conversation that we had on our previous episode where we actually, Keena said something, and it was about doing the copy and paste or the rinse and repeat in your business. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about is the copy and paste that seems to be out here in these streets, in these coaching, in these business streets. Let me just say that, in these business streets. And doing the rinse and repeat. And I think these are two different things, or they can apply to different things. And the copy and paste is more or less whenever you look at a coach's business and they'll say, well, I was able to generate $200,000 from this, first launch. And then I doubled that my next launch. And then now I'm making $1 million every launch or something like that. And they'll say, get my exactly what I did, exactly what I said, exactly my flow, my launch. You can get that. And then you buy it and you do what? Copy, paste. You might change up the wording a little bit instead of, ABC coaching, you do elemental P coaching. You may do that. But for the most part, it's the same thing. Or you'll get templates and swipe files. And let me preface this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a template or swipe file
At all.
because in a community that Keena and I are developing for you, and that's coaches who are, regardless of where you are in your business journey, whether you're in the build, strengthen, grow, or scale phase, we have we're creating something big, and I know I'm letting the cat out of the bag, Kena. I know I
I'm
am.
good. I'm good. Tell it all. No, don't tell it all. Don't tell it all. Or just tell a little bit.
Okay, okay, you good with it. Okay, okay. But a part of this community, whenever I say that we're providing real solutions, strategy, and support and resources for you, a part of that is giving you some of those templates, some of those swipe files, something for you to build on. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's what you do with it.
Yep. And your understanding of it that makes a
Exactly.
difference. Yep.
Exactly. And I think um so there's nothing wrong with, and that's nothing that I want that to be clear what Kina and I are speaking of. There's nothing wrong with having those tools or those resources. But again, it's what you do with it and what your understanding of it should be. So that's the copy and paste of it. The rinse and repeat is whenever you go through a launch and it didn't hit the numbers that you wanted,
Can you do it again?
and you do it again. And you're like, just in case they didn't hear me the first time. And it's like, no, they
No.
didn't want to hear you the first
Right.
time.
Right. They didn't want to hear you. It didn't land the first time. And Jay, let me insert something right here.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is a matter of someone hearing something multiple times before they become interested.
Mhm.
So there is that element. Again, this is your understanding of why something didn't work.
Mhm.
So we don't want any coach starting with a blank screen or a blank piece of paper. And the reason why is because you don't have to. There's no need for you to try to figure all of it out by yourself. You need a basis. You need a framework, to start what you're trying to build.
Mhm.
The problem, again, one of the problems is when you say, and I'm thinking of a person in particular. We'll call her. What's her name? Janice. No last name.
Okay, we'll go
Would
with
you?
Janice.
Yeah, we'll go with Janice. But Janice and Jay, you know the story all
Mhm.
too well. But
Mhm.
Janice had oh, I can't remember exactly what kind of coaching she was doing, but anyway, she had a coaching business, and her first launch was successful, and hmm, successful for her was that she was able to sell to three people, let's say. I can't remember the exact numbers, but she was able to get three clients from her launch. So for her, that was a success. And I'm go back to why I keep saying for her. But for her, those three new clients was a success. And so when she came to us, she was like she wanted to do it again, but she had tried it already, and the second time it didn't work. And
Mhm.
so we asked her, what did you do different? And she said, nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. I ran ads. I had the same copy, same content, same everything. And it didn't work. She said, and I don't understand why. So the third time around, she wanted to do it again. And Jay and I were like, no, don't do that.
Right.
Because your first time, and I'm going to say this and somebody may get pissed at me. Your first time, we're going to call that one luck. You just so happened to hit the three clients. She just so happened to hit the three clients in the perfect situation. They were in need. She said or did something that made them buy. But the problem with that is that she couldn't tell us what it was. And she couldn't tell us what it was because she didn't ask them. What made you buy this program? What made you go into this coaching, into my coaching program? And so I'm actually giving you a couple of hints here as to what you have to do with this whole copy and paste, rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
Um, but she didn't find out like what made them buy. And so it was next to impossible for us to really say, okay, so maybe we need to tweak this page. Maybe we need to correct your offer. And so she wanted to do it again, but we stopped her because basically we told her it would be a waste of your time and your money if you did this again. And she couldn't understand it because, hey, the first time it worked. And I told her, I'm like, yep, it did. Call it luck. But what you don't know, what you don't have right now is a proven program. It's not proven yet. That's why it's not work. It didn't work the second time. It probably won't work the third, fourth, or fifth time either. So when we talk about rinse and repeat, it is something that you're going to have to learn to do, but you also have to learn how to correct things as you're launching. And a lot of times you don't even know what to look at. Only, and I'm gonna say only Jay and I, only Jay and I in the whole world can tell you what you're looking at. But no, in all seriousness, sometimes you do have to hire someone to be able to say, this is what's not working. This is why your launch, you know, your launch didn't produce the same thing that it did, the last two times.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. And there's something that I tell my coaches is that, okay, we need to schedule in a debrief
Yep.
after your launch
Yep.
so that we can look at the things that you're talking about. You need to know, in order to do it again, you need to know why something worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, so it's like, have you seen, it's a video out here somewhere where it's a husband and a wife and they are trying to put together, it's like, I th- I think if I remember the video correctly, it's like there are different types of sodas or
Yep.
or no, it's not sodas. It's like balls or something,
Yes. The colors. Yes.
right,
Yep.
underneath a box, and
Yep.
you can see what the colors are, but they're trying to guess the sequence
Yep.
of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband is like, no, red goes here, orange goes there, green goes here, whatever. And the wife is like, no, it doesn't. It goes over here. And then they're like, okay, you got all but one wrong. And then she goes and she like changes everything. Or she goes and she changes the wrong one. And they're like, okay, now you have three wrong. And then he's like, okay, well, let's just move this over here. Now you got one wrong. Nope. Well then, and then she goes and she changes everything, and that's kind of like how
Yep.
your launch is. If you don't know what's wrong or what
Mm-hmm.
didn't work and what did work, you start unplugging and plugging in. Okay, so let's do this, and then the only way that you know if it's going to work is if you launch again, right?
Right.
So then that's an added expense just for you to do testing.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what you're doing.
Right. Because you're not even going to start small and be like, okay, let's see if we could test this in a smaller launch, if we could test this with an opt-in or a freebie. Let's do it. Nope. You're going to go into a full-blown launch again, and that's thousands of dollars
Yep.
that you're throwing out the window without having any knowledge of the previous launch other than you didn't hit your number.
Right. Right. That's your gauge. I didn't. I
Right.
didn't. I didn't get three. Okay. I didn't get four clients, which would have been an example we gave, an improvement. I got no clients.
Right. And see it, and you have to shift when it comes to launching. We could do a whole episode on launching, and which we should do.
Yeah.
But coaches look at the wrong numbers,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't give weight to additional numbers. Like, for example, you're new to coaching, and let's say maybe you've launched two, three times, right? You'll launch, And what you're gauging is whether you got a new client or not, whether someone um, booked a discovery call for you and they converted, or you look at those types of numbers. You don't look at the bigger picture that you went from a no name
Mm,
to now your following has grown.
yep. Yep.
Now your email list has grown.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are engaging with you on Instagram or on LinkedIn, or you have uh, those types of numbers. You're not looking at that. So if you're not looking at that, you're not looking to expand it. You're not looking to build upon it because everyone talks about the know, like, and trust factor. But what does that mean when it comes to your analytics?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean when it comes to your launch? In order for people to, if it's know, like, and trust, especially if you're asking, again, you're asking someone who don't know you to pay 2,000, 5,000, $10,000 for your high ticket offer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
don't sit up there and just, when was the last time you gave someone your credit card
Mm,
for 6 months and you don't know them?
right. Or you bought something that was a couple $1,000s without doing your due diligence as a consumer, and you just said, "Oh,
Exactly.
I'm going to buy it." No, you would never do that. And so
Exactly.
you would. So why expect someone? Why would you expect a potential client to do that for you?
Exactly. Exactly. I was okay. In my family, I have my mother and my sister. They are, they love research. Whenever it's about to be, if they're making a big purchase, so like a car, um, a computer. I know a computer right now, people don't think that's a big purchase, but in my life, my family, that's a couple of $1,000.
Thank you,
So
because I'm like, wait. Last time I checked, these Apple computers ain't no couple
I
$100s.
I think it's a big purchase, but somebody who may be listening, like, I just go down to Best Buy or whatever, and I ask, or the Apple Store, and I'm like, "What's the best computer?" And I buy one, and if it fits my budget, we go with it. But in my family, that's a big purchase.
Mhm.
So if my parents, my sister, they're getting something done in the house, buying furniture, they will research this thing for a year. I mean, they will go they will look at it online, look at the reviews, see if they like it. Okay, what color? They'll go to the store, they'll look at it, da da da. Go to another store, see if it's cheaper there, blah 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 blah. Sit on it, pray about it, sit on it. Okay, so Jay, what do you think? What did it? And then we poll the whole family, and then it's a thing. And so by the time I get to it and I say my piece, I'm like, look, buy it
Just
or
buy
don't.
it.
Right.
Right.
But they look at it just like probably your audience looks at investing in your coaching program. I
Hmm.
am get this thing that I'm about to buy is going to be in my life for, depending on what it is, 5, 10, 15 years. I got to live with this thing.
Hmm.
I got to pay this thing off. I'm going to go in debt because of this thing.
Yep.
I'm going to have to pay interest on this thing. So I need to be sure that this is what I want because I can't take it back. If you buy furniture, you can't sit up there and be like, change my mind. I don't want this. This don't look right. This doesn't quite look nice. I mean, you could, but look at the drama you got to go through with that return policy.
How about it?
Cuz
And
they don't want to sit up there and just be like, "Oh, you didn't like it? Okay, we'll be right back out there to come take our furniture back."
right, right.
That's
It's,
not how that goes. So
mm-mm.
whenever someone buys your coaching program, what's your return policy? Is it okay? You didn't like it, girl. Okay, I give you your $5,000 back. Because especially if you're in the build stage, you have used that $5,000 already.
Tell the truth, Jay. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You not. It's already spent.
It's already spent, so you don't have that. So let's be real about it. So you sitting up there and you're gonna make all the concessions and you're gonna move your boundaries so you could keep that $5,000, so you could keep that client,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not going to be an ideal client for you. But that person became an unideal client or unideal, whatever it is. That person is not ideal for you because you put a message out there to attract the wrong person
Yep.
who was willing to trade on that no like and trust factor because they trusted a little bit too soon.
Mm-hmm.
They went ahead and ate that bait that you put out there
Yep.
to attract the wrong person. And if this is your second, third, fourth launch, you didn't learn from the previous ones that you needed to change your messaging because you
Yep.
were attracting the wrong people.
Yep.
So you see how this all comes full circle? Were you able to pick up the breadcrumbs?
Yes, because the whole and it was because you tried to rinse and repeat. You tried to copy somebody else's entire funnel and
Mm-hmm.
thought that it was going to work for you. And the let me just give you a little bit of bad news right now. It is next to impossible,
Mm.
and I would stretch to say impossible, but anything is possible. I'm like Kevin Garnett around here. Anything is possible. Anyway, anyway, um, it's next to impossible for you to replicate what someone else did. You're not Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or Burger King. You are new to this. And so what Chick-fil-A, Burger King, and McDonald's has done is that they have figured out, they have spent years, decades figuring out what works and what
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, which is why they can rinse and repeat all day long. You,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, sir, are not in the position to do that. And that's a good thing, actually, because that allows you to figure out what how to get closer to the rinse and repeat for your business. And so if you don't hear anything else from us today, hear that we're not telling you to start off with nothing. We're not telling
Mm-hmm.
you to not borrow templates or scripts or any of that. But what we are telling you is that you have to adjust based on your business, your client, the market that's out there right now, and the type of business that you want to have. Otherwise, you're just throwing money, your time, and other resources out the door, out the window, out of whatever you want to call, but you're throwing it away.
Right.
And all of that can be avoided if you, in essence, learn that the different things that it's going to take in order for you to get closer to the type of business that you want. So,
Exactly. I think everything should be a springboard.
yes, yep, yep,
Whether it's the templates, whether it's the script, whether it's previous launches, whatever it is, it's a springboard to get you to inspire you.
Yes. Yep. Motivate.
Exactly. If
Yes.
you get a script, this is what, okay, so if I give you a script for this is, and let me be clear, inside of the community, if you receive a script, it's not going to be a full script
And it shouldn't hurt. Yeah.
because you need number one, you need to do the work. Let's be clear. You shouldn't have a coaching business in a box.
Right. Oh, I
You
remember that.
you shouldn't have that. That it's all a springboard to get to help inspire you to strike your imagination to, okay, so I can take a little bit of this, I can, okay, so this is what's getting me going to move you ahead. Like if you, yes, it should be that something to inspire you to get going, like
Hmm.
a prompt. You remember, like in school, whenever it would be time for you to do an essay, right? And they'll say, here's the prompt for the essay that you need to write.
Hmm.
Did they give you the full outline of the essay?
Nope.
No. Was it okay for you to copy and just change a couple of words and say, "Oh, this is mine"? Was that okay in school?
No, that's called plagiarism.
So why is it okay? And even if you did get the okay from your girl, yeah, you could copy off of mine. You could copy my essay. Would that fly with the teacher?
Absolutely.
No. So someone could give you permission to take their work and make it your own, but that don't make it right.
No,
It don't
no,
make it right to
no.
take that and just tweak just a couple of sentences and now it's yours. The prompt was there to spark the motivation to get you going in the right direction, to give you some sort of framework.
Hmm.
Okay, so now this is what I can what formed in my mind about said topic, and then you write on that. And that's what templates and swipe files should be. They should be a prompt to help move you in the right direction. So if you get a script for a discovery call, hint hint, drop drop, pin breadcrumbs, be on the lookout. It will be, hey, at this point, you can address this, or you should mention the features about your coaching program. At
Hmm.
this point in the conversation, you should listen to what they're, devote some time for them to express where they are in their life and where they want to be. At this point, it would be appropriate to get ahead of objections. At this point, you can say something like dot dot
Hmm.
dot dot dot.
Yep.
That's what you should have, not so when the prospect gets on the Zoom, you should say, "Hi, welcome to ABC Coaching. I am Jay, your coach, and thank you so much for joining me, Keena. Okay, so let's get into why you. Hold on, let me scroll up. Why you decided to join me today? It shouldn't be like that.
No, because that Jay, I was definitely going there because I'm like, if you are attracting clients with the rinse and repeat or a copy and paste, how are you going to work with them? Like, actually solve their problem because Last time I checked, most of the people that I work with, their problems aren't copy and paste. They
Mm-hmm.
aren't rinse and repeat. They're real life. You need to figure out why this isn't working problems. And
Mm-hmm.
so the expectation that you can, I guess, bring people in, and maybe some people just have a bad way of attracting people, and the rinse and repeat is going to get them people. But once they get them into the business, they know how to work them. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are trying to work with anybody that is as savvy as Jay and I, we're going to see your clients, your potential clients are seeing that you've copied and pasted. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, well, if you rinsed and repeat, if you copied and pasted your client, I mean your funnel to get me here, what's going to happen when it's time for you to actually work with me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you going to be able to work with me? And the quick answer is no, because you're not
Right.
going to understand like the real, this is what I'm dealing with problem. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to think that I'm having just a traditional problem and then you're going to give me a traditional solution. And that's
Right.
not what people need. They need to understand, like, how do I fix this
Mm-hmm.
based on what's happening right now?
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. It's like whenever you were talking, I was thinking about okay, so I have a background in computer programming and computer science. You can create a manual to create any type of software. Okay, so this is the code, you put this in, you want it to react this way, you put that in, want it to do this, you put that code in. You could plug these different types of formulas in, different types of mathematics. You can those types of formulas you can put into coding. You can do that, and there's you can create a manual for that. Can you create a manual for coaching? Whenever someone pops up with this issue, do you be like, okay, hold on. Okay, so according to my book, it says that I need to tell you do 3 affirmations in the morning, sip some tea at noon,
And
and
meditate.
hold on. Okay, wait a minute. And you said your husband crazy. Okay, chapter 13, husband crazy. Okay. Um, and then call his mama. That's what you need to do. Can you do that? There is no manual for that. So if you're coming on these calls with a manual or
Oh
with a
my
script and you're like, um okay, wait a minute. Okay, that conversation jumped down to um okay, this is part 15. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let me scroll down. Oh, really? Let me hurry up and get this to the 15. Okay, yes. Um so you're that looks unprofessional. That looks like you're not prepared. That looks like and look, I have tried it early. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Early in my career, I tried to have like, okay, my discovery calls, they look like this. And then we go here, and I'm gonna take control of the discovery calls. And at this point, I say this, and at that point, I say this, and at this point, I show features of this service, and then I do this, and but what conversation follows that flow?
God.
Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have control over the conversation. That's not
Right.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you have to be present and in the moment. And
Hmm.
the conversation, in order for you to be a a good salesperson, because that's what the discovery call is.
Hmm.
You're essentially selling. Yes, that whole qualifying and seeing where they are, if you all gel, that is all a sales process.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That and
Preparing for
just
their
like
objections and all that stuff. Yes.
exactly, because the reason why they got on the discovery call and didn't go straight to buying your coaching program is because there's a piece missing. There's something that they need. They're looking for you. They're asking for you to convince them. And that's sales. It's kind of like going on a the I know people don't like, oh, that used car salesman, that salesy thing. But the reason why you go to a dealership is what? I haven't quite made up my mind yet.
I need to see. I need to touch it. I need to feel it. I need to sit in
Exactly.
it.
I need a little bit more convincing. I want to drive. Okay. I funneled it down to these types of car, or this brand of car, or whatever the case is. This make model. I funneled it down to this. I need to touch it. I need to smell it. I need to feel it. I need to be inside it. I need to drive it.
I need to
I
make
need
sure it drives smooth. I need all that stuff.
exactly. I need a little bit more convincing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the reason why they show up to the discovery call is because they need a little bit more convincing. So it's your opportunity to close the deal. But what really closes the deal is about you being present. Once you know that they're there to get that extra oomph from you, that extra convincing, then you can, okay, if you know the right questions, if you know the objections, if you know the quality of your and the value of your coaching program, then you can go in, hey, this is a conversation. This is what I need from you. And
Mm-hmm.
while you're having this conversation, you know what to look for. Okay, yes, she would be ideal for this program. Okay, maybe
Yep.
not this, but maybe for this, I can upsell her. Oh, downsell, because that's not. She needs a little bit more before she gets to this level. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you know the right questions and the right answers that you're looking for in order to get the ideal client in your coaching program, your or what have you, in your course. So it can that be put on a script? No.
Nope. Nope.
You will try it. You will try it for the first 3, maybe 5 discovery calls. Then you'll be like, I wasted my money.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yep.
ain't this doesn't work. Or you will end up making your own copy, making your own script, making your own outline. And by the time you're done with it, it won't look anything like what you just purchased or
Nope.
downloaded.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So go ahead and put yourself out of your misery. Don't do that. But know what you need. Know
Mm-hmm.
what your audience needs from you. If you know that, okay, they need a little extra convincing, then back to what we were talking about before. Why? What? What are they looking for? Why
Yep.
do they need extra convincing?
Yep.
What is it in your marketing messaging? Do you leave some things out on purpose because you like that one on one connection? You like to be able to do this qualifying one on one. If you like it, okay, fine.
Right.
It's time consuming, but if you like it, okay.
Right. And some people need that. I mean,
Exactly.
that part is necessary in order for you to figure out the missing part, especially if you're new to coaching, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not sure about objections. You're not sure what happens after this step. You're figuring stuff out. So that discovery call, there's a purpose for that too. But again,
Mm-hmm.
understanding like all of the things that Jay and I have shared is imperative. So you know the reason why certain things are done in a business. There's reason why there's templates. There's a reason why there's scripts. There's a reason why, but it's not a default. It should not be a default for everything in your business, because in essence, you're going to reach a person who is beyond templates and scripts.
Mm,
What are you going to do?
exactly. And I mean, essentially, do you want a cookie cutter business? Do
Nope.
you want a business that's just like, okay, let me be honest here. People are also just like that person who's looking for the car, just like I was talking about my family that's looking for furniture, for contractors to do work. They're not just going to one person,
Yep.
they're going to multiple people.
Yep.
That person that's looking for a car, they're going to multiple dealerships. So if you all have the same script,
Right.
do you look authentic? And then, of course, part of your branding, a part of your messaging is I'm authentic.
No, you're not.
I'm transparent.
She said, no, you're
No, especially whenever you have that script in your okay, hold on. Call your husband's mama and complain.
not.
Tell her everything that's going on while you're sipping your tea, while you're doing your five mantras, and do a little sprinkle some self-care in there. Yeah. Yeah, do that. I would
Oh,
be like, that's a no for me, Alex.
yes. And
You know,
I wish you a lot of success.
exactly. It's like, okay, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna discuss this with this husband whose mom I need to call. I'm gonna discuss it with him, and I'll be back in with you, girl. I'll check in back
No,
with
she
you.
won't.
She not.
No, she won't.
Mm-mm. And then you'll be like, well, let's schedule another call, and we can talk. No, no, no. My people call your people.
Hmm.
Okay, my people call your people. Okay,
It,
bye
look,
bye.
and Jay and I are telling you right now, she's not calling her people. She's not calling anybody. She's done.
She has read your energy,
Hmm.
and she has decided in that moment, either number one, if this is what you're telling me to do, then I really don't need a coach. I'm doing good by myself. Or
Yep.
number two, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have anything of substance to give me. So therefore, I'm out. And guess
Oh,
what? She gonna tell her friends. She gonna tell her friends.
period.
And there goes what? Another client, another two clients, whatever the case is.
A potential brand ambassador. Like, there goes all that.
All of
Yes.
it. Yeah. So as we round out, I had to think. I was thinking round up, but then no, that wasn't it. So
I thought you were
as
trying to say wrap up, but like and say it all together.
all of that, as we do all of that, let's go ahead and hit the key points about the rinse, repeat, copy, and paste. Is there something, is there anything wrong with having a script or templates? No. Is there anything wrong with duplicating aspects of your launch? No. But to do a rinse and repeat of your previous launch, to do a copy and paste and just change just a couple of things here and there, is that appropriate, or is that going to help you reach your goal? It's not. These things, the templates and the swipe files should be like springboards uh, to spark your creativity, to spark your imagination, to customize this prompt to match your business, your voice, your audience. Whenever you're going through your launch, you need to take moments to debrief and figure out what worked and what didn't and why.
Yep.
And then before you head into your next launch, correct those things and understand if you're bringing something from your previous launch to your new launch, understand why you're keeping it.
Mm.
Why did it work? Why do you believe it will work this time? And that'll also help you figure out what changed and if that worked
Mm-hmm.
or if it didn't work.
Yep.
So keep those things in mind. If you have any questions about any of this, if you want to keep the conversation going, if you are wanting to talk to either Kina, and here is Kina's handle on Instagram. Let me go ahead and show it again. It's at Simply Kina B. Please reach out to Kina, especially if you're having issues with wrapping your mind around this whole concept or getting your the mindset to head into another launch, to get over the obstacles of previous launches, to get that head. Oh, there is another episode that's coming, and I think it's next, like within the next few episodes, I believe. And it's talking about mindset, which is total Kina work. Total Kina work. But if you want to go ahead and get that jump start on it, please reach out to Kina again. It's simply Kina B on Instagram. Please send her a DM so that you can get started on that. If you want to really look at your your launch, create a strategy, figure out what worked, what didn't work. If you want to do that debrief, then please reach out to me, and it's at jblack and co. You can go to jblackandco.com. You can reach out to me in the DMs and we can continue that conversation. Okay, so there are avenues, there is help here for you. Again, we provide real solutions, real strategy, support, and resources that's going to help you build your business the right way, build a sustainable one at that. All right. So that's it. Anything else, Kina, that you wanted to say?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, you all, you have a fabulous day. Thanks again for joining us. You could have been doing anything else in the world, but you chose to spend this time with us, and we are thankful and grateful. Until next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.